looking at the Seahawks game from last night, Dave, and we talked about sort of a tale of two halves, or really a tale of three quarters and then one quarter. But what was your overall, and we'll get into the secondary in a moment, but just overall defensively, how did you feel like they played?
I thought it was fine. I think it started off bad because, Kobe Bryant gets that interception, and then Tyrese Knight ends up trying to block somebody and knocks the ball out. That was a huge momentum shift, and I thought it was really, positive for Arizona. And, that was for us a chance to get a takeaway there. That one play right there was very deflating, I thought. But, they got the job done eventually, but I know we're going to get into talking about certain players, but Devin Witherspoon was not himself. He was not himself. I mean, he looked like it, but he just didn't have, and I didn't think Julian Love was either. Both guys, were banged up and didn't play last week, and I have to say, Julian Love is very close to Witherspoon as far as having that little burst where, kind of out of the corner of your eye, you see like a blur and you go, oh man, is that Spoon? Oh, it was Julian Love. And I didn't think he had that. And I didn't think that, Spoon gets beat for a touchdown. And then also,
the play before that too.
Yeah, he had a missed tackle.
Yeah.
He never misses tackles. I don't ever remember, and it was a bad one where, like, he had the angle and everything and just missed it. So
they just looked a little less explosive than
just
normal.
A little bit off, I thought, for those two guys.
Yeah, it was, and that's why I was going to ask you about that. I mean, obviously the final drive, it was glaring, with Marvin Harrison Jr. and Spoon matched up with each other, and Harrison, who's not been great.
Yeah.
Has not had a great start to a season. He certainly wasn't great in this game. Had a great drive and got the better of him there. So, yeah, he certainly did not look like himself. And again, I guess you understand he's missed a couple of games now, and the idea that all of a sudden he's going to be back 100%, probably not realistic, and the same for Julian Love. Ernest Jones talks about, in his opinion, the guy who came up with a nice interception, which was great to see, but talked about where, in his opinion, the defense can improve.
I think with all what they had, 20 points, we gave them. Penalties got them down there. So we knew we were stopping them. We just were sloppy. Things that we're going to go back, we're going to work on it, and we're going to get it fixed.
Something you kind of accept with a short turnaround Thursday night football. Do you sort of go, you know what, it's not – it feels like Thursday night football is generally not the cleanest game.
Yeah, on both sides.
Yeah, just not just the Seahawks. Just in general, you see a lot of mistakes, and maybe that's just the cost of doing business. You play on Sunday, you turn around, you're playing on Thursdays, and that's just what you live with. But do you kind of go into it with that idea?
Well, I mean, you can't really make that excuse just because the other team's going through the same thing, right?
Well, I didn't think the Cardinals were that clean. I didn't think they played a great game either.
Yeah. Maybe not. I mean, I don't. That part of it. I think it all evens out. So, but yeah, I mean, you're used to that your entire year, and I know that there's a lot of players that don't like the Thursday night football game and think it's ridiculous. It sure is a nice reward though over the weekend. You know? So, especially for the broadcasters,
you get to watch Red Zone and not move. Zone.
Yeah, and the other thing that was interesting, and this is a Mike McDonald thing. Drake Thomas out there on the field, and he was out there for snap number 1, I believe, and so that made him the starter. I think I looked on NFL GSIS and had him as the starter. Drake Thomas has been playing really well on special teams. And so I think this is a Mike McDonald thing. Like, if he's going to make plays in the open field, and a lot of times it's harder to cover a kick than it is to play defense. I mean, you got a big, wide open field, so Drake's making those kinds of plays. He is not a big guy. We had him on our show for, 3 minutes or 4 minutes because he came late, and I went out into the little lobby area and talked to him for a while, and he's like a 5'10" guy. Looks like he's about 230, and he just flies around the field, and he made some really good tackles. I don't know what that means about Tyrese Knight, though. I mean, I think there's been a couple of times where I watched him, and in particular last night, there was a play where he should have scraped outside a little bit further. He got kind of stuck inside and eventually gets pinned and gave up a pretty long run. So I don't know if maybe he's having assignment problems or whatever, but that's another one that you look at, that Tyrese Knight didn't play a great game. And, and I wouldn't say they had to rely on Drake Thomas because I think Drake has earned the starting spot there. But, yeah, I mean, it was
well, Tyrese is also another guy that's had kind of multiple injuries he's been dealing with. I don't know if that's impacting him at all or if I'm just making an excuse for him.
Well, maybe it is because he had some kind of medical problem before the year started. So, yeah, I mean, it was they're not divulging that or whatever. So I wonder if it could be that.
Yeah, we'll see what goes on. Look, the bottom line, they won. Right?
Yeah.
On the road in a building that has not been kind to them over the years. So as soon as I couldn't help but as soon as Myers missed that field goal, I'm like, yep, that's this building. Here we go.
Yeah, and I brought it up to Pearson, and I was like, do you remember all the things that happened? He's like, yes, I'm well aware. And he's like, what's your point?
Why are you bringing this up?
I mean, it goes back to the Matt Hasselbeck trying to hand the ball to Sean, and Sean saw a blitzing linebacker and was like, I'm not going to take a hit there. And then we end up fumbling and losing the game. And then the 6-6 tie, and then the whole Legion of Boom got – coaches and GMs are getting flipped off from the field. Remember Marshawn flipped off Darrell Bevel and Earl Thomas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that story about Tracy, his wife, John. Like, honey, I think that was meant for you. Yeah, so Earl Thomas, he did that. He got hurt there. I mean, there was lots of bad things. Will Dissly's another one. He stepped on a yard marker. He was having a dynamite rookie year. He was wearing out Chandler Jones, just wearing him out to the point where he was like throwing punches at Dissly, and he was having just this great game. He blows his patellar tendon out there. Super Bowl 49, maybe the worst day of my life.
I see. We could leave that one off.
Yeah.
We can leave that one off. They overcame it last night. They come away with a win.